What's up, y'all? Just got out the gym on Sunday morning. I know it's not Friday. I know it's no filter Friday. Sorry. New video. Surprise on a Sunday. Just on my way back home from the gym. I like to walk home from the gym. It's about 3 miles. Extra cardio. Extra calorie burn. Why not? Sometimes I walk. I take the small streets, or sometimes I'll walk down the beach track. It's pretty relaxing, pretty peaceful. Not a bad day today. Pretty gloomy. Starting to realize that I sound like a weatherman in all my videos. So, but yeah, this week, sorry, lost my train of thought. This week marked 3 years of me overcoming my depression. So there's that. Oh, just got a text message that I missed out from last night. My friend asked me to go out last night, and I preferred to go to the gym than to go out. It's a new thing for me, choosing the gym. Next thing you know, I'm gonna choose the gym over some wings. Girl, we'll see. But yeah, like I was saying, this year marked 3 years of me overcoming my depression back in 2014. And, you know, it's not, you can't say overcoming because it's like an ongoing battle. But yeah, there was just a point in my life where I didn't think that I was gonna ever feel that. There was this point in my life where I didn't think that I was ever going to feel happy, and it's just a sort of chain of events that happened at the beginning of 2014 that made me realize that, you know, I don't know. It like a light bulb went off in me, I guess, and it just made me realize that this life is only lived by me, and I'm only here for me and whatnot. I don't want to get too into it just yet. I want to wait so I can be able to share my depression story with you guys. It's something that I do want to share. It's one of the main reasons why I started this. I really want to be a mental health advocate. I really want to share my message and share my voice, and, you know, start a movement and help these people, because something that I went through is just it was a lot of years. It was something that I've been experiencing since I was 13, maybe even younger. So, and I was very young, so my mind wasn't able to comprehend what was going on at the time. It was until I got older that I just had to like sit down and realize what was going on. And, you know, it all helped me for the better once I decided to start opening up to people. Not really people, because you have to be. One thing that I did learn is you have to be really careful who you open up to, because sometimes those people may make you feel worse. Because there was a lot of times where I tried to open up to people, and they were just telling me like, you know what, you're just doing it for attention. Nothing's really wrong with you. You just want someone there. You just need me. And you know, at the time I felt really bad. I felt horrible because I was asking them for help, and I was like, you know what, I'm just a problem to them. They're obviously not trying to be here for me. But no, who cares? If you need attention, there should be someone there for you. There should be someone there. You know, I always say, be there, be enough. Meaning, be there, be enough for a person. Like, if a person doesn't want to talk to you, isn't ready to quite share what's going on with them, then, you know, just tell them, sit down with them and be like, we don't have to talk. I'll be here. I'll need your company. Because at that time, that's all I really needed. All I really wanted was someone's company. But since I wasn't willing to open up to certain people, these people just pushed me away and they walked away. They're like, nothing's really wrong with you. You just want me here. And, you know, well, they really didn't say you just want me here. They're like, you're just making it up because you want my attention and you're seeking attention. But so what's so wrong with that? When someone's depressed, of course they need attention, you know? We're like, well, me, I was needy. I wanted a friend, and at that time I really didn't have any. So it took a lot for me to find someone to open up to. It just really caused me to isolate myself and be really scared to open up to people, because I really didn't know how they're going to react, scared of that whole rejection feeling. So that's when I just decided, like, I'll keep it to myself and I'll just fake it till I make it, I guess, you know. and pretend to like act out and be funny, and I would crack jokes, and I'm like, I would try to play it off. The more people think I'm happy, the more no one asks me what's wrong, and I won't have to give them my burden, my burden. I don't know if that sounds right. I mean, I know it sounds right. I don't know it's a word, but it wasn't until I was like 19, and it was about 3 in the morning. I was living in Alaska, and I decided to call my dad. And I remember when he answered the phone, I couldn't even speak. You just hear me sniffling. I couldn't even catch a breath. I couldn't even, and he's just like, it's crazy because I still remember how clear his voice sounded, despite it being 3 in the morning. And that's something about my dad. No matter when any one of his children need him, like he'll be there. And it was like, despite it being 3 in the morning, he sounded wide awake. He wasn't groggy, nothing. So, and something just told me, like, call your dad, call your dad, call your dad. So I just went ahead and I called him. And maybe it wasn't, I don't know what time it was to be exact, but it was, I'm pretty sure it was the middle of the night. Because I remember I was freezing my ass off in Alaska. All I had was like my gray shorts and a crew neck. Not that any of this matters, sorry. Yeah, so I called my dad and I told him just everything that I was going through. I remember I was crying my eyes out and I was like, coming to Alaska was a mistake. I'm like a fucking failure. What am I doing with my life? And stuff like that. You know, I felt I was 20 years old. I had just turned 20. That's why I keep saying I'm 19, because I left to Alaska when I was 19, but I turned 20 over there. So I was 20 years old, and for some reason, me, back at that age, I used to think that by 20, I put a lot of pressure on myself, and my dad mentioned that on our phone call. He's like, you always put a lot of pressure on yourself. You wanted to be independent so bad once you turned 18. He's like, I never told you anything because I knew that you would have to figure all of this out on your own. And I knew that once you realized how hard it's going to be, I would have been there for you. And he just told me, he was like, sometimes you just have to step back and look at everything that you've accomplished. He's like, you may feel like a failure. He's like, but you decided to leave everything back at home and move out to Alaska. And he's like, you're the first one of my children to leave the nest, sort of say. He's like, that may not be an accomplishment to you, but to me, that is an accomplishment. You as my son, that you're already starting to realize how it is going to be not living off of your parents. And sort of speak, you know, there's so much that went into that conversation that he just like sort of fixed me. And it got to the point where I was just like, you know what? Oh yeah, I remember one thing that he told me is like, we as humans make mistakes all the time. But if someone walks out of your life, you'll realize that you'll still be happy, that that life will go on, that it won't. My dad's very religious, so he said, as long as you have God watching over you, you'll be okay, despite who walks out of your life. It's for the best, and you'll always have that strength that you need to when they walk away. And it's very powerful what he said, because the next couple of days I experienced that thing that he told me. I experienced a fallout with people. I experienced certain people like walking out of my life, me walking out of someone's life, and all of that transpired into me moving back to California. And I remember when I was on the phone with friends from back here, they were like sad, they were worried. They're like, how are you? Are you okay? Do you need us? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, to be honest with you guys, I have never felt more free in my entire life. It's a feeling that I've never felt. It's a high that I've never felt. Because the thing about it is, and no, it was none of the people that made me feel that way. It was not the people that I had gotten into an argument with. It was none of that. What it really was is one of the main reasons why I left to Alaska was because I felt like in order for me to be happy, I had to distance myself from certain people, which, you know, is true. But I thought that in order for me to distance myself, I had to move 3,000 miles away and leave everything behind. And the first couple of months, everything was okay. But pretty soon the past caught up with me, and the inner demons that I failed to work out back home caught up with me. And that feeling of not feeling good enough, that feeling of not wanting to open up to people and isolating myself quickly caught back up with me. So it frustrated the people that I was around because they actually wanted to help me. They actually wanted to, be there for me, and I was pushing them away. So it created a rift, but it taught me a lesson that needed to be learned, which was, in order to be happy, you don't need to move anywhere. You don't need to cut anyone off. You don't need to do anything. Happiness doesn't come from a person. Happiness comes from within yourself. And once you realize that, then you'll be like happy. And it's easier said than done, It's a battle that took me like almost 7 years for me to learn. So that feeling of me not being good enough, it still comes around, but it's just not as bad as when I was younger. I just, have to do what people say and take a step back, look at everything that I've accomplished. And it's just, sometimes it blows my mind that I'm not that 19-year-old kid crying in my best friend's room because a guy won't give him attention, Now, when a guy doesn't give me attention, I'm just like, okay, I'm used to it. I have thicker skin now. I'm used to rejection. Rejection is something that I've grown, it's something, a part of life, I guess. You dust your shoulders off and you go and move on to bigger and better things. I remember I was talking to one of my close friends one night, and I told her that there was this guy that we were talking online, and he's like, oh, you should come over. And I was like, okay. And I walked over to his house, walked to his apartment. He's like, just knock on the door when you're here. And I knocked on the door. He opened it, and he took one good look at me, one good look at me. He looks up and down. And he's like, no, sorry, close the door. And I was like, that's fine. And I went back home. And she was like, what? How could you be so nonchalant about it? She's like, something like that would devastate me. And I'm like, there's something that you feel to realize here. It's something that, like, I'm like, I love myself. No one's going to take that love that I have for myself away. It's something that I had to work so hard to get. And I'm not going to let if someone I could be the juiciest peach out there, and there'll still be someone out there that doesn't like peaches. And now I'm completely okay with that. I'm just at a point in my life that whoever walks out, I will, open that door for you. It's just what it is. Like my dad told me, life will go on. No need to be upset. Your life will go on. Just remember that, you guys. Remember to love yourselves, and that ain't nobody more worthy than your damn selves. New videos next week. I won't give you a day. I know I've been saying every Friday, but with school about to start and with work, who knows when I'm gonna have time. Will make time though, because this is something that I like to share, and I'm starting to like doing this. I'm growing accustomed to doing it. So new videos every week. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, share, and yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Have a blessed Sunday and watch the Super Bowl. Lady Gaga, I'm very excited about her halftime show. Obviously, I don't watch football. You guys have a great Sunday. And it kind of helped me